Hello everyone, it's Karen and I'm back to talk about making sesame salmon and our oven fried rice. It's chicken fried rice. I'm making it without the chicken to save a little money. I'm going to serve it with my salmon dish instead. Before we get started, there's a brand new Epicure catalog here for the fall and winter 2022. A couple of things you might be liking for gifts for this Christmas season is the gift set of 3 popcorn seasonings. So we have the dill, the white cheddar, and churro, which is also available on its own, which is kind of a cinnamon, sweet cinnamon thing. Great on pumpkin spice lattes as well, which we have a mix for some different lattes like matcha lattes and pumpkin spice lattes. So check those out on the website as well. And also the best turkey dinner ever collection. Finally, the turkey seasoning, roast turkey seasoning is back, and the holiday stuffing is back. Sage and apple stuffing is back on its own as well. Scalloped potatoes, a pumpkin pie that's no bake. Who would have thought? And it's gluten-free, of course, and you can make the pumpkin pie with coconut milk if you would like to keep it dairy-free. So lots of awesome things happening in this holiday season. Stay tuned for even more, which I'm sure will be coming up as we go into the gifting season next month as well. So today we're going to get going on our salmon. So I know that everything is getting more expensive, so I wanted to share a little tip. A lot of the grocery stores, you can find on the meat products a coupon or a sticker that says a reduced price, or sometimes they'll say 40% off or 50% off or whatever the amount is. Usually it's like getting close to the date that it's going to expire. So what you want to do is either cook it up that day and you can freeze it then, or you can freeze it from raw, but make sure if you thaw it out that you cook it right away and you don't refreeze it without cooking it, because that can cause some food poisoning issues for you, which I'm sure you don't want to have. So anyway, that's a little tip for how I save money. I find if I go like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those are the best days, whichever days before the flyers come out as well. I find a lot of deals on there. Anyways, we are going to be using a couple of things in our recipe. We're going to be using the 3 onion dip mix, the Asian stir fry seasoning, and the ginger, which is not actually available currently, but hopefully it'll come back again, and everything bagel, which is awesome for topping anything that you want sesame seeds on. But if you don't have these products at home, you may have some of the older ones or past products, so I just want to recommend a few of them so you're using up what you have at home. So the maple miso makes an excellent sauce. It's a nice sweet sauce for your salmon. Or this one's from quite a while ago, miso and ginger. This is a Nourish dressing mix, but it would make a delicious topping even if you just sprinkle it on. Or if you have the teriyaki from the summer season. All the great options if you don't have the products that we're going to be using today. So let's get started. We're going to make the sauce for our sesame salmon, and I'm going to make a separate video after for the oven fried rice or chicken fried rice, sorry, because I got to set up in a different area by the stove. So here we go. So we're going to go with 1 teaspoon of oil. Where'd my teaspoon go? Hang on a second. There it is. Now this recipe is actually found on the website on epicure.com, but it's actually meant to be served with asparagus and mushrooms. So what you do is you put your oil in the pan, you put double the oil in, and you put double the oil and put in your mushrooms and your asparagus first of all, and then you would just fry those up a little bit, and then you would add in your other ingredients here and then your salmon, and then put it in the oven on a sheet pan, everything at 425 Fahrenheit for 10 minutes approximately. So I just put a tablespoon of our 3 onion mix in. That replaces an onion for any recipe, so it's an awesome recipe. We're going to use 1 teaspoon of Asian stir fry. Oops. Love this one. I was afraid to buy it for so long because I didn't know if it would be something I would use, but any kind of Asian food, it is absolutely delicious. Teaspoon of soy sauce. You can use low sodium if you'd like. All of Epicure's products are lower in sodium typically than what you would find in the store. We also have a lot that are 0 sodium, including our not including, but our broths, which are back in the fall-winter catalog, those are like, I don't know, like 10 or 20 milligrams of sodium, which is insane compared to the grocery store, which is like hundreds and hundreds or 1,000 or whatever. So highly recommend it. A teaspoon of hoisin sauce. Looks like I just made a mess on the lid here. And I'm using my 4-in-1 spice spoon here. This thing is awesome. It's got a tablespoon, teaspoon, and on the back there's 1/4 and 1/2 teaspoon as well. And then we're gonna put a teaspoon of water in, 1/4 teaspoon of our ginger, which I haven't even opened yet. Whoops. These were available in the summer of 2022. So I can use the back of my thing here to measure 1/4 of a teaspoon. So there we go. Ooh. And our seasonings and spices are pure spice. There's not a bunch of fillers in them, so that's why they're such a better deal. And they're all ethically sourced as well. So what you're getting in the grocery store, you have no idea where it's coming from. Teaspoon of sesame oil. Also, up to 90% or 90% or more of our products now are sourced from non-GMO sources as well. So another bonus. And everything is gluten-free, like I mentioned before. Okay, we've got rice, red wine vinegar. Oh, I was supposed to have rice wine vinegar. Well, I'm putting in red wine vinegar, just a teaspoon of it. Shouldn't make too much of a difference. Oops. All right, and that's everything. So it was quite a few ingredients for this recipe, but it's gonna be worth it. It is already smelling amazing. So I'm just gonna take my little whisk here. This is an awesome little handy dandy whisk. And I know I have a huge bowl, but I'm gonna be, I thought I was dumping my salmon in here with veggies and stuff and mixing it all together, but I've decided to just kind of brush it on now. So I didn't actually need this massive, massive bowl. There we go. So I've just cut my salmon into smaller portions. This is a recipe for 4 salmon fillets, about 3 ounces each. But I'm just gonna use my brush, my basting brush here, and brush it on. And then we will cook it at that 425 Fahrenheit for 10 minutes approximately. Now some of these are thicker than others, these fillets, so some are gonna cook faster than some. So you might wanna take a look at them at the 10-minute mark, and you may have to put it back in for a few minutes longer for the pieces that are thicker and just take out the thin ones that are done. So just want to make sure you get all of the sauce on. Oh, it smells so good. Ooh. Salmon is so good for you. Got lots of omega-3s in it, and really good for your heart as well. So I know it's expensive, but like I said, if you can keep an eye out for some of those specials when the food is reduced, it really makes a big difference. All right, so there are our salmon fillets. Can you see them? Beautiful. So I'm gonna pop those in the oven, and then I will come back with part 2 of the video for the chicken fried rice. See you then.